You've got things people pray for, maybe the job, the home, the friends, maybe even moments that are supposed to feel like enough. And yet, there's this strange emptiness, not loud, not obvious, but it lingers, doesn't it? When the noise dies down, when the lights are off, when you're finally alone, it whispers, there's more, but you haven't found it. You try to explain it away. I'm just tired. It's just a phase. But deep down, you know better. It's not about stress. It's not about being busy. It's about a space inside you that nothing seems to fill. Not success, not affirmation, not even the people you love. You've tried to fix it, bought things, changed environments, worked harder, even numbed yourself. But the ache stays, like your soul is asking a question your life doesn't know how to answer. And here's the scary part. You're starting to wonder if this is just how it's always going to feel. Incomplete, floating, lost in a life that looks fine but feels off. But what if the emptiness isn't a flaw in you, but a signal from God? What if the void you feel is sacred space? Space He designed not to be filled with noise or things, but with Himself. You weren't made to run on adrenaline, distractions, or applause. You were made to run on presence, His presence. That's why everything else eventually runs dry. That's why even the best days sometimes end in restlessness, because something eternal can't be replaced by something temporary. God isn't punishing you by making you feel this ache. He's inviting you. That hollow ache is holy. It's the alarm clock of your soul, waking you up not to more effort, but to deeper connection. But we resist, don't we? We fill the sacred gap with anything we can. We scroll, binge, text, escape. Anything but sit still, anything but feel. Because if we pause long enough to listen, we might have to admit, I've been avoiding God, because I'm afraid He might not meet me. But what if He's already meeting you, just not in the way you expected? Maybe He's not crashing into your life with thunder and fire. Maybe He's whispering between your sighs. Maybe He's not changing your circumstances yet, because He's trying to change your heart first. Maybe the missing piece isn't an answer. Maybe it's a person. What if the ache is where He lives? The place you keep trying to avoid is where He's been waiting. He doesn't need your perfect prayers or polished faith. He wants your honesty. That raw, desperate, unscripted honesty. He wants that moment when the walls finally fall, when you stop pretending to be okay and say, God, I don't even know what I'm missing, but I know I need you. And in that moment, something starts to shift. Maybe not the pain, maybe not the situation, but something deep inside, like soil turning before new life. It's subtle, quiet, but it's real. The presence that doesn't always fix everything, but walks through everything with you. Not fixing, but filling. And maybe that's what you've been missing all along. Maybe you've been chasing clarity, but what you really need is closeness. We want answers. God offers presence. We want solutions. He gives Himself. The frustration of not knowing what's missing might just be the very invitation into knowing Him deeper, not as a concept, not as a distant deity, but as someone who sits with you in silence, who speaks through the quiet ache and says, I'm here even when it doesn't feel like it. What if your longing isn't proof that something's broken, but proof that something holy is awakening? The hollow places in you aren't a mistake. They're space for grace to fill. They're the gaps God uses to pour Himself into your soul. That discontent you feel, it's not random, it's divine. It's the echo of Eden calling you back, not to perfection, but to presence. So don't run from the missing. Don't try to numb it. Don't rush to fill it with noise. Sit in it, stay in it, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find He's been sitting in it with you all along. The search for what's missing often turns us inward, but healing begins when we look upward. Maybe you've looked at others and thought, they seem so whole, so certain, so fulfilled. And in comparison, your life feels like it's lacking something critical: joy, peace, meaning. But you weren't meant to find yourself by mirroring others. You were meant to rediscover your identity in the gaze of the one who made you. God never asked you to fake wholeness. He invites you to bring your broken pieces, unhidden, unedited, unlabeled, to Him. That's where restoration starts. You keep asking, what's wrong with me? But what if the better question is, what is God building in me that I can't yet see? What if the ache is sacred? What if the lack is preparation? Your emptiness isn't evidence of absence. It's the canvas for something eternal. Maybe you've been carrying this void for so long that it feels like a part of who you are. You've searched in people, in places, in performance, and still, something's missing. But what if that ache isn't a flaw to be fixed, but a whisper to be followed? What if the emptiness is an invitation to fullness, not of this world, but of Him? You were never meant to fill that space with noise, distraction, or achievement. That hollow place in your heart was carved for something holy, and maybe that's why no success satisfies, no relationship completes, no escape numbs it long enough, because it's not absence, it's alignment. You're not broken. You're being called. If you've tried everything and it's still not enough, maybe it's because you were never supposed to live without the one who made you. So here's my question. What are you still chasing that was never meant to complete you in the first place?